The Life Journey to E. Chapter 6. Starting the Career. For university graduates under the planned education mechanism, if they were given jobs in the government or public institutions, their headcount must be within the manning quota. If they were given jobs in enterprises, they would enjoy welfare package at leaders level. At that time, the enrollment rate to universities was very low. Entrance exam to universities and colleges was described as like hordes of troops and horses crossing a single plank bridge. All the university students became leaders, and the graduates from vocational schools were workers. Children from rural areas were not eligible for entering vocational schools, so they had to enter the universities to change their political class. Several years ago, there was news about a university student working as nightman just because the position belonged to a public institution and his compensation was paid by the government finance. I was allocated a job in a big state-owned enterprise, a position in administration section. I reported for duty with the certificate of job assignment. The working unit reimbursed the transportation expense from the university to the place and provided some home setting fee to me after I was given a dormitory room to live. In this way, I felt the warmth of the organization. At that time, after a university student started the career, the working unit would provide a place to live, so they needed not to rent their own apartments. My roommate in the dormitory was a cook in the canteen. We did not have much language in common, but there was one benefit for me. He would always give me more food than others during mealtime. I called the lady working in the same office Auntie Zhang. She was the head of the administration section, and she was very friendly and amiable. She always told me, "Work hard. I will retire in 2 years and my position will be yours." Every day after I came to the office, I would clean the working desk, fetch some hot water, make a cup of tea, and read the newspaper. I would read all the content, including even the center joint. The life was standard 9 to 5, 3 meals, and 2 sleeps pattern. The salary slip of my first working month read 195.36 yuan on the cover, including 10 yuan as allowance of subsidiary food. Many people are excited and pleased when getting the first month's salary in life. However, I looked at the salary envelope dumbfounded. Did this mean that my time is arranged and my life calculated by my working unit? In my leisure time, I would remember the story of the friend who went through the emergency rescue. It impressed me deeply, especially what he said at last. I saw the doctors rescuing me with my own eyes. I had the same feeling in some weird dreams. I also felt floating in the air and seeing everything. After I woke up, I was in my bed. If I was not dreaming, who was looking at everything that had happened? The next spring, I was assigned to the branch company in Beijing to work. The benefit of being assigned outside was that the salary was higher, around 1,800 yuan per month. The section leaders there favored the practice of you issue a document and I send you a report. Every matter, big or small, was handled through issuing red hat document, which looked very similar to the document issued by the central government. Mr. Wang, the section head working in the same office, went to inquire some issue in another section. He was very angry back to the office. "Who you think you are? You were just promoted from a position of a worker. I must wait for your document." Dozens of words abbreviated here. Later, we learned that the section head told Mr. Wang to wait for the official document about the issue he tried to inquire. Although cursing others in the back, they showed big smiles when meeting each other. I admired this ability and could not imitate. So, not before long, I resigned my job back to Tianggu district. I applied for keeping the position but was rejected because I had no strong connections. I was the first to resign my job among the graduates entering the same working unit. My food and oil quota certificates were transferred back to the Food Bureau of Beicheng district. My citizenship was transferred back to the village. My personnel archive was kept in Labor and Employment Bureau temporarily as no working unit would keep it. My mother asked, "So your education was wasted?" It was kind of wasted, despite the fact of having learned knowledge about science and culture. I could not enjoy social medical insurance and welfare of distribution of apartments. Later, the village paid compensation for occupying the land. I was not in the name list of receivers either. In conclusion, I belonged to nowhere. Later, I stayed at home doing nothing for a few months. I visited the talent market of Taizhuang Road for several times and did not have any result. Later, the Committee of Enterprise Economy started to recruit talents externally, and I succeeded in the job application. The Committee of Township and Village Enterprise Economy was abbreviated as the Committee of Enterprise Economy. It did not belong to the Committee of Economy. However, it was also a formal functional department of the government, and the leader of the committee was a formal government official. I was recruited externally and was not listed in the approved manning quota. I was a kind of temporary employee, and my salary was paid by the fund collected or loaned from the enterprises. On my onboarding day, the secretary of the committee had a candid talk with me. He said, "Sometimes we also evaluate people on their merits. Work hard and you will have a chance to become a formal government official when more headcounts are approved. By then, you can transfer your personnel archive to this unit." In that working unit, I could use commuting bus. Occasionally, I had nice meals together with the officials, and everyone was kind to us. Although we were not formal employees, we were also treated as officials of the committee. The life was also standard 9-to-5 pattern and even more relaxed than in the previous state-owned company. After I started working, occasionally I still had the weird dreams. The difference of dreaming to be in Beijing and actually being in Beijing is obvious. I actually went to those places, including those with endless darkness. The feeling of reality could not be denied subjectively. However, when I woke up, I was still in the bed. How could it not be a dream? When the actual feeling conflicted with the reality, I felt very anxious and confused. The confusion lasted until 1 midnight when I finally understood what happened. In the morning, I got up with the daze.